Hey everybody, we are back once again with another box of quarters for our quarter hunt and album fill. All right, we've got a box of customer wrapped quarters. I actually dropped this box walking out of my bank. The bottom fell out of it. Some of these coins you can see are a little bit loose. So hopefully I didn't lose any on the sidewalk. But anyway, this is exciting. We've got some customer wrapped rolls. Our last box, of course, was the ARP or Alloy Recovery Program box. So we didn't find anything old. So we're hoping we can find some older coins to fill some slots, some upgrades. There might be some silver. You never know. Definitely that's one of the things we're going to look for. We have 99 slots in our Lighthouse Vista album out of 170. And so far, it's looking pretty good, but we don't have any of the silver in here. So we certainly want to find that. We have some great looking coins in the 70s and 80s. There are still some that can be upgraded and a few that we don't have, including, of course, this 1973 RCMP large bust, which I've never found, and I don't know how likely it is, but that's one of the things we're obviously going to be looking for. All right, so let's dive into this box and see what we can find for the album and for our collection. I'm excited. I'm in roll number 2, and I just found one of these Saskatchewan 2005 quarters. This one's in pretty rough shape. It's like heavily circulated. Wouldn't be a keeper by any stretch. What I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of lining up at the top here some of the ones that I know we don't have for the album. I'm not all that inclined to add ones like this, I think, that are just in really rough shape. We're probably going to find better examples, maybe even in this box, but probably in other boxes. So I think we only really want to add nice ones, but at the very least, I'm starting to do that. The only find so far that I've pulled aside really is a 2000 that looked to be in really good shape, and it might upgrade what we have in the album. It might be that we still need this one. We'll find out. We're in roll number 4. It's been a bit of a slow start, but we finally got our first color enamel here. It is a 2013 to Salaberry War of 1812 color. Looks pretty decent, so we'll add that to the board here. And we were finding a lot of new stuff, a lot of 2020s, 2021s. So, and I've only found so far one in the 70s. So we'll see. That doesn't necessarily bode well, but we'll find out soon enough. Just at the end of roll number 5, and we're going to have our first American. It's got a Philadelphia mint mark on it. It is a 2000 Virginia State quarter. Roll number 8, we found ourselves a really nice looking Olympic cross-country skiing. It's a 2009. We'll add that to the board. Our finds are pretty light here so far, and so who knows what we're going to have in store. We're in roll number 10. We didn't find anything rare or terribly interesting, but I did note that a 2009 was one we needed for the album, and this particular one has just minor circulation wear. That's definitely a good one. I had been setting some other 2009s aside, but none of them are nearly as good, so we can, I think, safely put this as a placeholder for the album so far. If we find one that's even nicer, I'd be surprised today. We can throw those guys back for sure. Roll number 11, we got our first provincial coin. It is, of course, they're all from 1992. Pretty nice looking Alberta. So we'll add that to our board, and that might be an upgrader or an addition to the album. Roll number 12, and we're going to have ourselves another provincial quarter. This time, it's going to be Prince Edward Island. Roll number 13, we found just our second color of the box so far, and it is a 2010 double poppy. Roll number 15, and we have a great looking 1977, and I just can't recall if this is one of the ones that we found a good example of. I don't think so. There's a few little scratches on the back, but otherwise it's in good shape, so this could be an upgrader for sure. Same roll, and we found ourselves an Olympic biathlon. And I don't think we have this one yet, so we'll set this aside. This might be an addition to the album. And we'll keep on looking and see what we can find. Still pretty light, only a couple of color. We found a few nicer coins, but there's a lot of 2021s and 2020s in here. You can see some of them right here. I picked up roll number 18 and it just completely fell apart as I went to grab it out of the box. It obviously didn't survive the fall when I dropped the box, but I'll look through this and see if we've got anything interesting. Well, I tidied this up, and one of the first coins we got here is a nice looking 2009 cross-country skiing. I think we've got a pretty decent one in the album, but that could potentially upgrade. I just picked up roll number 19, and it's got an interesting edge that's standing out right up here. It looks like it could be silvery, but sometimes we find ones that are just a little bit discolored, so it's hard to tell. So I'll lay this out and we'll open it up and we'll see, but it's definitely looking different. Okay, I got it laid down here. We're gonna see. It's not that good. Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is absolutely an addition to the album. This is a 1961. This is 80% silver. This is fantastic. This is the first silver I found in a quarter box on my channel. I found silver before, of course, but this is fantastic. Absolutely an addition to the album. It's our first silver for the album. That's awesome. We're going to put it over here with our finds, and all of a sudden this box just looked a whole lot better because we weren't finding much of anything. So we'll see what is in store. Roll number 20, and I just flipped it over, and we got ourselves a Cindy Clausen color version. Looks pretty decent. Little bit of circulation wear, but that's a great one for the board. So we got silver, we got another color, so things are starting to look up. Same roll, we got another provincial quarter. This time it's a Manitoba. It's pretty heavily circulated. I'll add it to the board, but this wouldn't be a keeper at all. Roll number 23, and we have our fourth provincial quarter. It's an Alberta. It's our second Alberta of the box. We're in roll number 29, and I haven't had much to bring you in for, so I'm just going to bring you for this 2006 Bravery. This is in pretty circulated shape. It's not great. I just know it's one we need for the album. Roll number 30, and we found only our fourth color enamel coin. It's the 2006 Breast Cancer Commemorative. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but we'll add it to the board as a find. We're slowly starting to find a few things here. Of course, we're ecstatic that we got that 1961 silver, and we're hoping there might be another goodie in here yet. Roll number 31, and we just uncovered what looks like a pretty fantastic mint-shaped provincial. Just flip it over and see what it is. And it's a Yukon. It's our third Yukon of the box, but this one is in phenomenal shape. So that is absolutely a book filler or a book upgrader for certain. So we'll put that with our provincials. And yeah, there's our provincials right there. Roll number 32, I just laid it in my hand, and there's an edge here that looks interesting, and it's hard to tell if it's just a dirty coin or if it's possible that it is silver. I think it might just be some discoloration, but I'll put it down and we'll take a peek. Okay, I have laid it down here, and we're going to see what it is. And it is just a really filthy 2012. And sometimes you just can't tell because the edge will look different. And that is not what we're looking for. And it's definitely not going in the book. That's for certain. Roll 33, we got a couple things here. First of all, we got a 1971 that I know we need for the album. So we'll put that in our finds over here. So we'll add that. And we've also got a Laura Secord, the colorized version. And it's got some circulation wear for sure. But I'm not even sure if we have this one in color yet. So, well, it's another color find to add to the board. And so we might still find some yet in here. I've just laid roll 35 down, but something just caught my eye in the box. I don't know if you can quite see it, but there is an edge in here that looks pretty silvery. I just saw it. It just caught my eye. We're going to have to wait for it. Now, we've been fooled before. And this roll down here that I just uncovered also looks like it's got a darker edge. Again, it could be an American coin with a copper layer. It could just be a filthy 2012 like we just found. But I'm kind of excited because I'm interested to see if there's possibly any more silver in this box. That would be phenomenal. Still in roll 35, we found ourselves another provincial quarter, this time a really nice looking Quebec. Roll number 36, I had to look to see how far we were. Roll number 36, and we found a 1968. It's in pretty rough shape. Of course, we got to check it to see if it is nickel or silver. It's definitely nickel. Interestingly, we found a couple of these in probably in better shape than this one, actually, that we didn't add to the book in our last couple of hunts. I don't know why. I think it's just I don't find them often in very good shape. In any case, this one's pretty rough. We'll set it aside. We can probably add it to our book for now unless we find another one. But, we definitely want to find one in much better shape than that if we can. Roll number 37, and our end coin is a 1973 RCMP Commemorative. And so we can check to see if it is the small bust and the large bust. I could tell just right here it is the small bust. But if you're never sure, if you can scope it, what you're looking for, of course, is if there's a lot of fine hair detail, it's the small bust. That's what we have here. And these beads are relatively far away from the rim. So the large bust, the rare one we're looking for, has less hair detail here. And these beads will be right tight up against the rim. We didn't find it this time. And I think we already have a nicer version in the album. So we can throw that one back and get back into the rest of these and see what else we find. Roll 38, and we found our second breast cancer commemorative. This one actually is in much better shape than the first. I'm pretty certain we've already got one in the album that is probably about this good, but we'll take a look. It's definitely one for the collection, though. I've just opened up roll number 39, and I've got another edge here that looks interesting. It's very definitely different than the rest. So I'll lay it down. I'm going to try to lay it down right now. I haven't looked at it yet. Let's see if we can find it and see what that is. And we've found more silver. This is a 1967 Bobcat. This could be, this is 80% for sure. Actually, no, this could be 80% or 50%. That's right. And there isn't really an easy way to tell, but we've got two silver in the box, which is just awesome. And we still haven't looked at the one that I saw over here that it could be anything. It might not be anything at all. But that's awesome. We've got two silver in the box. This is fantastic. All right, I got roll 40 here. This is the one with that dark edge that I saw, and it looks pretty darn silvery. So we'll get into this and we'll see. That would be fantastic. That would be the third silver of the box, if that is what it is. And that would tie my personal record for silver in a box, which is awesome. But we'll see. Okay, I've laid it down here, and we're going to pull it out. And I think we've been fooled by another just really filthy one. I can't even make out what year that is. What is it? But you can see how it's, if I put it up against those silvers, not quite the same color, but on the edge, it had all the hallmarks of it. Let's see if we can see what it is here. Put it under the scope. Yeah, it's just a really dirty 2002. Well, I've been fooled more than once, and more than once today, so I shouldn't be surprised. We've still got two silver in the box, so we got to be happy with that. I was hoping maybe we were going to find a third, but we still got another 10 rolls plus to go, so you never know. Roll number 44, and we're going to have something for the board here because I can see a couple of coppery edges, the second last one and this one right here. So we've got a couple Americans, which is interesting because we've only found one so far in this entire box, that 2000 Virginia State Quarter. Normally we would find a whole bunch, but that hasn't been the case. We found lots of 2021s and 2020s, and but we're going to find a couple in here. Partway through that roll, and we found a really nice 2000 Community. We might have this one on the album. This one particularly looks like it might be an upgrader. There's not a whole lot of circulation where it's actually in really dandy shape. Well, I can see a couple eagles here. So we'll see what we've got. We have, this one is a 1996 out of Philadelphia. And the next one is a 1998 out of Denver. Roll number 48, and we have found our fourth U.S. quarter. It's a 1967. So it matches our 1967 Canadian, but this one is not silver. This is clad copper. But we'll add it to the board. It's a find for sure. We've got a little bit left to go. A couple more rolls in there, and I see a couple bonus quarters underneath that must have fallen out when I dropped the box. But we're almost wrapped up here. Same roll, and it's barely visible, but there's actually some color on this coin. It's a 2004 Remembrance Day Poppy. Looks like this one has been in a fire or been burned. The detail actually looks pretty good, but it's clearly in pretty rough shape. But it's a color for the board, so we'll count it, but we might not keep it. Roll number 49, I just got into it. It was sealed up with some tape, and right off the bat, we see we've got an 1812 to come save with some color on it, which is great. Okay, 50 rolls hunted. What did we get? Well, it was a bit of a different box, this one. We did get 4 US at the end of the day, the oldest being this 1967, and pretty circulated condition. We found 8 colorized coins in total, which is about half what I normally find. I think that Cindy Clausen was probably the best of the bunch there, and I believe we need it for the album. We might need that Laura Secord. We certainly don't need those breast cancer research ones, and we don't need a really bad 2004. We found 6, 7 provincial coins, a couple of them in really good shape. We'll check to make sure we're filling all the spots that we have, that we need to fill. We didn't find a whole lot of other great condition coins in this bunch. There were a lot of 2020s and 2021s. Some of the ones here, like this Saskatchewan, we know we need for the album. We know we need this Bravery, but neither of them is in great shape. The 71 over here we know we need. And then I separated out just a whole bunch of other ones here that I'm going to look through to see if we need any of these as upgrades in the album. But our 2 best finds of the box, which made it all worthwhile, of course, were these 2 silver quarters. We got a 1961 laureate portrait of Queen Elizabeth. That's an 80%er. And we found this 1967 with some pretty cool toning or tarnishing on it. And this one could be a 50% or an 80%. We just don't know. We can't tell. The specs are pretty much the same for them, so we can't really find that out here at home. I'm going to look in the album, and I'll come back and let you know what we've added, how many we've upgraded, and I'll be right back with that. All right, I've looked through everything, and we have made our additions and upgrades to the album. We actually added 30 coins that we didn't have in here before, so we're now at 129 of 170 spots. I think our best fills today were that 1961 and that 1967. So we have 2 of 17 silver spots filled. These are going to be the toughest, absolutely. But we added a bunch more things for sure that we didn't have anything in. We added a 68, an 84. We added, probably most significant, we added that Cindy Clausen color that we see on here. So we can see there's lots of stuff filled in here. We also filled in, we didn't yet have the DeSalaberry colored, so we got that in there as well. And this album is looking pretty good. The one thing that I'll say is that I know initially I had said we were really going to only add easily attainable things if we had really good options. And I didn't really stick to that because I did add some things in here that weren't the best. For instance, the 2005 Saskatchewan was pretty sketchy that we put in there today. This April 1999, April 1999, that one's pretty sketchy too. I just didn't like seeing holes in the album when we were finding those coins. So we still have some that we didn't put in. We didn't find a lot of stuff in the 90s actually today, which is interesting. So we still have some holes like that 97 and the 98. So we definitely have things that we can look for. I think we can be pretty much more focused now in our hunts. We'll know that we're looking for very specific things. And certainly if we find any really, really nice looking coins, we can look to see if they'll upgrade. But otherwise, this album is coming along pretty well. So I'm hoping this silver page we can add to. So we did a good job today with those 2, which was fantastic. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. This coin roll, hunt, and album fill. Please like the video down below. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, Cadroll Hunter, where we are generally hunting Canadian coins. I really appreciate you watching the video coming out today. I hope to see you again here. Please join us soon. We've got lots of videos coming out. Thank you so much.